this where do we have this table? This table will be present on a database server. Listen, where this table will be present? Guys, come on, respond. On the database server. It will be present on the database server. Now, where this class will be present? Actually, this class will be present for you on a computer, on a particular computer. We call that as a application server, guys. Isn't it? This class will be present for you on a computer, which we call it as a application server. There will be a computer called as application server, and this class basically will be installed on that application server. So remember, the database will be present on a computer called database server, and this application will be present on a computer called as application server. Means these two are two different computers where we install the things. Okay, both will not be sitting on one computer. Now, on the application server here, this class is actually installed. Different computers, different servers, different computers these are. These are different computers. Okay. Guys, just understand that. What is this? Yeah. We will be having a computer called as a database server. We'll be having a computer called as a database server. And on the database server, this table will be present. Okay, this particularly this table will be present. And we have a computer called as application server. And on the application server, we install the customer class, under which the business logic is implemented. We install the customer class. We install the customer class under which the business logic is implemented. Okay. We create the table here where the data is stored for storing the data. For storing the data. Okay, guys. Now, client basically comes to an ATM machine. Client comes to an ATM machine. See, you go to an ATM machine. You go to an ATM machine and do what? Guys, you go to an ATM machine. You go to an ATM machine and do what? We go to an ATM machine and basically we are going to swipe the ATM card. We are going to swipe the ATM card. Okay. We just go to an ATM machine. And after going to an ATM machine, we are just going to swipe the ATM card here. Okay. So that's what we are just going to do basically. They are installed. What you do? Array, You go to an ATM machine and swipe your ATM card first. Are you guys clear? Yeah. You basically go and you will be swiping your, you will be swiping, you go to an ATM and you will be swiping your ATM card. When you swipe your ATM card there, what happens? What basically happens? When the ATM cards are swiped there, when the ATM card is swiped there, on that machine, there'll be a card reader. On that machine, you'll be having a card reader. The card reader, what it will do, you know? When you swipe the card reader on the ATM machine will be reading your customer ID actually. The card reader on the ATM machine will be reading your customer ID. Where is the customer ID? In the back side of the magnetic strip. On the back side of your particular magnetic strip, you will be having that. On the back side of your particular magnetic strip, you will be having that. Okay. So basically, when you just observe in the back side of your particular CVV code comes here. On the back side of your magnetic strip, back side of the card, you'll be having a magnetic strip. Whenever you just generally swipe your card, there, you'll be finding a black color magnetic strip. Have you noticed it? Okay, you'll be finding a black color magnetic strip there. And on that magnetic strip, you'll be having your card ID. You'll be finding your customer ID. Your customer ID will be present there. When you generally swipe your card, what happens, you know? When you swipe your card, what happens, you know? The card reader will read that customer ID. Suppose the customer ID is 101. It reads it. After reading that, what it will do, you know, it will send that to the application server. What is present on the application server, guys? Customer class is present there. What is present there? Customer class. We have the customer class present there. Our customer information. Customer class is present there. And this particular customer class, watch it. The constructor takes a parameter. What parameter? Customer ID as a parameter. The constructor takes a parameter. There is a customer ID as a parameter. Okay. So whenever you swipe your card, it reads the customer ID now. And once it is going to read the customer ID, what is going to happen? Once it reads the customer ID is passed to the server, application server. And on the application server, we have the customer class now. So it will create the instance of the class here. Customer is equals to new customer. the instance of the class is going to be created for you there. Okay, and the constructor takes a parameter now. What is the parameter? Customer ID, and that customer ID will be passed there. That customer ID will be passed there. You can see the customer ID passed over there now. So when the customer ID is passed here, what will happen? What did you write the logic here? The logic here is to load the data from the database. The logic here is to load the data from the database. And once you do that immediately, it is going to load you the data from the database actually. Are you guys clear? It is going to load you the data from the database. From the database, it is just going to load you the appropriate data. Okay, the data will be loaded for you from there. Once the data is loaded, the memory will be allocated. Once the data is loaded, the memory will be allocated. The data gets loaded and immediately the memory is going to be allocated for you there. Okay, so now how many how many customers can access the application at a time, guys? How many customers can access the application at a time? N number of customers. N number of customers. There are N number of customers who are going to access the application at the same time. So now, 3 different ATM machines now, 3 different customers came with different customer IDs. All are sent to the application server and all the instances will be created. So the application server will start creating the instances to, the application server will start creating the instances to you. All instance creation will be happening for you on the application server. When the instances are created by the application server, what will happen? Memory is allocated now. Guys, watch it. Once the memory is allocated, all the data gets loaded. All the data will be loaded for you into the memory. So where the memory allocation is done, the memory allocation is performed for you on the application server, guys, remember. The memory allocation will be performed for you on the application server. On the application server, this memory allocation will be performed actually. Okay, why on the application server? Why on the application server? Because application server is going to be, basically application server is going to be a secured environment, guys. Isn't it? Application server is going to be a secured environment. It is just going to be a secured environment and all the memory allocations will be happening for you on this particular application server only. I repeat, application server is going to be a secured environment under which the memory will be allocated. Means it will be running for you on a cloud environment. It will be running for you on a cloud environment. It is just going to be run for you under a cloud environment. And because it is going to run for you on a cloud environment, like hacking or breaking this firewalls and hacking this servers is going to be very, very complex. Are you guys clear? So hacking or breaking this particular firewalls and hacking them is going to be very complex. So that's where the complete execution will happen for you on this application server only. Yes. Okay. The complete execution will be taking for you on the application server only. Yeah, these are very high capacity servers. What we'll be having in the real time. These are very high capacity servers. What we'll be having up in the real time environment. And these particular high capacity servers under which all the instances will be created for you and the memory will be allocated. Okay. These are very high capacity servers. Yeah, guys. What is Apple server software? Then why you are comparing that with a database? Database server is completely different. Database servers are used for storing database. Don't compare these two. Okay. So basically, you'll be having these application servers under which the instances will be created. And instances will never be created on the client computer, guys. Remember, instances will never be created on the client computers. The reason why the instances won't be created on the client computers is client computers are not going to be secured environments. Client computers are not going to be secured. Client computer means ATM machines. ATM machines, if you take, these ATM machines are not secured. These ATM machines are not going to be secured. Yeah, ATM machines are not secured. Means easily they can be hacked or do something. Tomorrow, if I want to implement security on the ATM machines, if I want to implement security on the ATM machines, what exactly is the problem, you know? Yeah. If at all you want to implement security, what exactly is the problem, you know? No. Anyone can hack it, that is secondary. But what I'm telling is, if you want to implement security on the client system, what problem do you have? Implementing security on the client system, what problem you have? It's a very costly effort. It's a very costly effort. What is that very costly effort? Because see, suppose a bank has a 10,000 ATM machines, 10,000 ATM machines. To implement security on the 10,000 client systems, they're required to purchase 10,000 firewall licenses now. Did you understand? And that's going to be a costly effort, guys. Purchasing that many number of firewall licenses, it's going to be a costly effort. So that's the reason why. every year renewing these licenses, that will be that will become a very big costly effort for the bank. That's why there will be a centralized location where everything will be created. That's the reason for using the application service. And here you'll have a doubt here. Multiple instances are created. Don't we have a problem? Okay, multiple instances are being created. Don't we have a problem? Is it doubt what we'll have in the mind? Guys, reason, what is that? Already we discussed in the last, sorry, not in the last week, in this week only. Remember, instances are unique. Already we discussed about this particular thing. Instances are unique. Changes of one instance will never reflect to second instance. Changes of one instance will never reflect to second instance. When changes of one instance never reflect to second instance now, even though you create a million instances on the server, still our application will be running flawlessly now. Even though you create a million instances, still our application will be running flawlessly. No problem will come. Okay? If the changes of one instance, if the changes of one instance, if they're reflecting to other, if the changes of one instance, if they reflect to other, what is the problem, you know? If the changes of one instance are going to reflect to other, what will be the problem is, what will be the problem, you know? If one person deposits, um, if one person deposits, that will add to all the accounts, and one person withdraws, that will be deducted from all the accounts. If one person deposits, it will add to all the accounts. If one person withdraws, it will be deducting from all the accounts now. Okay. If that is the case, guys, I need to give a permission for only one user to access the application at a time now. If that is the case, we need to give permission. We need to give a permission for only one user to access the application at a time. One user only. If one user only can access the application at a time, if one user only can access the application at a time, do you know what is the problem now? Guys, answer. If one user only can access the application at a time, do you know what is the problem? Rest have to wait. How much time? Days. Perfect. Rest of the people has to wait for days here. Rest of the people has to wait for days in the lines. मेरा number कब आएगा? If you go to an ATM machine, you will come back after 3 or 4 days. You will never go to ATM machine again. You will never go to ATM machine again. Just a minute, guys. Sorry, guys. Yeah. So if that is the case, see, if you have a doubt, put your doubt there. Again, don't say I have a doubt and don't wait for it. You cannot share the screen. Okay. So guys, now you just understand what is that. Ask in ASPR. Why you're asking about ASP doubts here? Okay. Yeah. So guys, listen. So what is that? If multiple instances are going to be created, if multiple instances are created, application will be running flawlessly. Changes of one will not reflect to other. If the changes of one are going to reflect to the other, the real problem will be, I said you that only. If you just try to visit, if you try to visit things, it will be taking um, it will be taking like all the people has to stand in the queue. It will be taking a lot of time to execute the things. I hope you are clear. Okay, so that's the real issue here. That is the real issue what we just have. Now, guys, up to here you're clear now? All the data loaded, how the data will be loaded, constructor calling, data loading. Are you clear till now? Array, client coming, swiping the card, customer ID sent to application server reading the values from database and loading them into the memory. Are you clear till now? Now see, why did you come to an ATM machine? Why did you go to an ATM machine, guys? You went to enjoy the AC there, huh? Did you go there to enjoy the AC? Only for money, huh? Yeah, to do some transaction when I perfect. To withdraw, yeah, to do some transaction, anything. Okay, to do some transaction. You went to the ATM machine to do some transaction. Aishwarya, day one only, why you want to eat a biryani? Wait, we'll learn everything. Wait, okay. So basically, we just go there for doing some transaction. For some transaction, we'll be going there. To do some transaction, we'll be going there now. Okay. Now, guys, you are my client now. You are my client. I am the developer. So you are going to use this application for doing some transaction. Now tell me, as a developer, do I require to provide all the options for you to perform the transactions or not? As a developer, is it my responsibility to provide you options to perform the transactions or not? Yes. And I'm responsible to do perform all the transactions now. So now as a developer, I require to implement the logic to this transaction. In a bank terminology, that's a transaction. In a developer terminology, that is an action. In a banking terminology, we call it a transaction cash. In a developer terminology, we call it as an action. Okay. So actions means method. Ramu, perfect. Actions means method. Okay, we just call them as a method. Actions are just okay. So actions are just going to be called as the methods here. We call them as methods. So now to perform the transactions, as a developer, I require to define all the methods now. To perform the transactions as a developer, I require to define all the methods now. I need to define all the methods here to perform the transactions here. Let's see. Let's see how do you do that. Watch. Public double get balance. Tell me, the get balance method returns you the double value that is your balance. Does the get balance method requires any parameter? Do I need to pass any value for the method to execute? Do I need to pass any parameter value for the method to execute? Already ID is available for you now. Already ID is there now. You want ID again? Oh, for get balance, you'll pass balance and get the balance. Great. After you enter a PIN number only, data will be loaded here. All the data loaded means PIN number entering is completed already. You entered up the PIN number, all these actions are completed. You used a balance inquiry in your ATM machine now? Did you use a balance inquiry in your ATM machine? Now for a balance inquiry in your ATM machine, yeah, balance inquiry in the ATM machine. You use na balance inquiry in the ATM machine. It won't ask you any input here. When you click on the balance inquiry, directly the output will come to you. Are you clear? When you go for a balance inquiry in the ATM machine, directly it is going to show the output to you. Okay. So for a balance inquiry, I don't require to pass any inputs. So my method doesn't require any parameter, not a constructor. My method doesn't require any parameter here. Simple code, return balance. Return balance. Guys, look at this. The method is static or non-static? How do you call it? How do you call it? By using an instance. Okay then. Answer my question. Answer my question. C1.getBalance. What is the output? 5,000. C3.getBalance. 25,000. How are you able to say that? How are we able to say that? That is the data associated with the instance. That is the data associated with the instance. That is how we are able to say that. We are able to say that by looking into the data associated with the instance. Are you guys clear? We're able to say that by looking at the data that is associated with the instance. Okay. So with the data that is associated with the instance, we are able to tell that what is the balance. What is the balance here? Now, Look at this. Look at this one. So we are able to say that beta associated with the instance now. Now, suppose this is a static method. If this particular method is a static method, how do we call this? By using class name. Perfect here, by using class name. Now come on guys, now tell me, customer dot get balance. What is the output? Tell me fast. You can't say that. You can't say that. Customer dot get balance. You can't say that now. Understand, guys. See, basically the point what all of you have to understand, by default, what we have is only non-static members. Static is specially introduced here. Static is something which is specially introduced, which is used only in a particular situations, that's all. Basically, when you learnt about your C++ language and all, what we have is only non-static. Static is something which is specially introduced here, and we cannot use static in all the places. Static is used only in the specific situations, guys. Static is used only in the specific situations. In the specific situations only, static can be used. In a normal situation, we don't use statics anywhere. Are you guys clear what I'm telling you? In normal situations, we are not going to use static anyway. Static is only used in a specific kind of situation. Otherwise, mostly every member of your class will be non-static only, associated with the instance and providing access to the information. Associated with the instance and providing information to you. So non-static is only basically non-static, okay? Statics are basically used in only specific situations. We don't use in all the cases. I hope you're clear. Okay, so that's what basically static and non-static is. So that's what. I did not use a static method here. If I use a static method, I said you what is the problem? Be in the class first. Okay, so this particular method should be defined as static or non-static. Same way I'm writing one method called as public void withdraw. Guys, I'm writing a method here called as public void withdraw. Okay, so public void withdraw. So I want to write a withdraw method. See, when you are doing to withdraw requires any parameter? Withdraw requires any parameter? Amount, perfect. Double amount is the parameter. So what you write here, balance minus equals to amount and update balance back to database server with the which is the ID. Yeah, with the ID. Okay, now. The same way I want to write another method here. Deposit plus equals to. I want to write a method here. Funds transfer. Funds transfer requires two parameters, guys. Destination ID, to whom you want to transfer. The destination ID to whom you want to transfer. Update balance of target customer in database server with the destination ID. Are you guys clear how you define the methods in the class now? Okay, so like this, they define the methods here. They define the methods. And now customers can call these methods and do the transactions now. To do the transactions, customers can call the methods. Now here we'll have a doubt. Sir, this class is present where application server. So where is the instance created application server? Class is present on the application server, instance is created on the application server. When both are on the application server, how can the client call a method? Because instance is created on the application server. Where is the client? Client is sitting on the ATM machine. Same computer or different computer? Different computer. You put the food at your home, and you come to office, and how can you eat that, guys? Did you understand the question? You put the food at the home, you came to office, how can you eat that now? So exactly, the instance creation is done on the application server. The instance creation is done on the application server. When the instance creation is done on the application server, how can the client call a method by using that instance? That will be a really confusion now. Understood, huh? So this will be a big doubt before us. How can the clients call? Yeah, how can the clients call when the instance is just going to be created on the application server, and how this is going to happen? Okay, so let's try to understand how exactly the things are going to happen. Do you remember about reference of a class? What is the reference of a class? A reference of a class is a copy of a class which is created by using an existing instance. You went to innote here. A reference of the class is a copy of a class which is created by using an existing instance, which doesn't have any memory allocation, right? Will a reference have memory allocation? Basically, the pointer. It is just a pointer pointing to an instance. Can I call members on the reference? Can I call members on a reference? Can I call methods by using a reference? Yeah, reference works like an instance only now. Reference clearly works like instance only now. Reference will be working like an instance only. So by using a reference, we can call the methods. Okay. So by using a reference, we can call the methods. Guys, don't forget, by using a reference, we can call the methods. Okay. But execution takes place at the reference place or the instance place? Instance place. Perfect. Execution takes place at the instance place. Because the reference doesn't have memory allocation, then how can the execution take place on the reference place? Reference place memory, there is no memory allocation. So execution always takes place on the instance place. Okay, now, when we learned about references there, did we learn why do you need a reference? Or when I explained about references in the 3-4 days back, did I say you what is the need of a reference? I did not tell you what is the need of a reference. But guys, let me explain you what is the need of a reference. What is the need of a reference here is, listen. Instances, basically, they are created for you on the server. Instances are created for you on the server. On the server, instances are created. Okay. So client requires this instance to call a method. The client requires this instance to call a method. But the instance is present on the server. With that instance, client cannot call any method. With that instance, client cannot call any method because that is created on the server. Okay. This is the place, guys, where references comes into picture. What you know, whenever an instance is created, at the same time, guys, a reference to that instance also will be created. Whenever the instance is created, immediately on this, a reference to that instance also will be created. A reference to that instance also will be created. After creating a reference to that particular instance, what will happen, you know? That reference will be sent to the client computer. That reference will be sent to the client computer. Okay. The reference is created and sent to the client computer. So when this instance is created, a reference is also created and the reference will be given to the clients now. So in the ATM machine, when you swipe your card, it's reading the customer ID and sending to the application server now. Application server will create a reference and send it back to the client now. So for all the 3 instances, there will be 3 references maintained on the client computers. Now tell me, by using these references, can I call the methods? Yes or not? Watch it, guys. Watch the picture now. R1, R2, R3 are the references sitting. Now I can call a method by using a reference and execution takes place on the application server now. Yeah, for every instance, reference will be created. Now, when I call the methods on the reference, the execution will take place on the application server now. Okay. So here, now see, I'm going to call the method R1 dot deposit 3000. Okay, this is how the method is called. You'll ask me out, sir, how will client call the method? Will client is going to call a method now? This is the logic that is present for you under the click of the buttons. This is the logic that is present under the click of the buttons. Under the click of the button in the ATM machine, you have what you click on a deposit button here. It asked you how much you want to deposit. 3,000 rupees you want to deposit. And in the below, today, if you see, did you notice it here? Today, ATM machines are coming with the deposit options also. So you can just deposit money also in the ATM machines. In the below one rack will open, you put the money there and and you can deposit it, and you can deposit the money and you can start depositing the money. So now when you enter the money and put the cash there, you'll find a confirm button now. You'll find a confirm button now. This is the logic they write in the confirm button click. This is the logic what they write under the confirm button click. Under the confirm button click, this is the logic what is present. When you click on the confirm button, this is executed. Second one wants to perform a withdraw. Third one wants to perform a funds transfer. Funds transfer. Okay, 104, 5,000. Under the click, there is a method. Under the click, there is a method. Under that method, this method is called. Under that method, this method is called here. Okay. So like this, they will be calling up the methods to you, and on the buttons, these methods will be executed for you. Now see, you called R1.deposit. When you call R1.deposit, internally that is C1.deposit. Did you catch my point, guys? You called R1.deposit, but there's internally C1.deposit. Okay, now the deposit method executes. What did you write the logic in the deposit method? See, in the deposit method, I did write the logic to add the amount to the balance. Add the amount to the balance. So immediately this amount is added to balance and this will become 8,000. This will become 8,000. Once this becomes 8,000, the next step is update the database. Update the database now. Now it will go to database and updates it. Same way R1, R2 dot withdraw. You're withdrawing. It will update it and updates the database. Funds transfer. How much? 5,000. From where? From 103. So first this amount is deducted here and this amount is added here. Are you clear, guys? This is how exactly the applications will be running for you in the real-time environment. This is how exactly the applications will be running for you in the real-time environment. So object-oriented programming is such a beautiful. The object-oriented programming is such a beautiful. Even though you try to create 1 million instances on the server, still your applications will be running flawlessly for you. Such a beautiful design of object-oriented programming. 1 million applications created on the server. Where is C1 here? Where is C1? C1 is on the server. How can you call C1.deposit? You listen to the whole story and again you ask who is the hero of the movie. C1 and R1 both are same only, but C1 is present on the application server. How can you access that? I'm telling you each and every point to you carefully, clearly, and again you come back. Are you sitting in the classroom or not? Did I explain or not, guys? C1 is on the server, client cannot access it. Did I explain that or not? Point to point, I'm telling you. Array, that is on the server, client cannot access it, so client cannot use that C1. So reference is created and sent to the client computers. Client can call the methods by using the reference. I'm sorry. Guys, fine. So like this, the instance, this is how the applications will be running for you in the real-time environment, guys. Okay, now see. Now one more important thing we just require to understand here. One more important thing, what we require to understand here. What you know? What that is? What that is? Look at this, guys. What is that? You know? See, whenever the transaction is completed, the database is updated. Whenever the transaction is completed and the database is updated, immediately, this instance will be destroyed for you on the server. Whenever the transaction is completed, immediately, this instance is destroyed on the server. This instance will be destroyed on the server. And now we'll have a doubt here. Sir, why are you destroying? I want to do one more transaction. I want to do one more transaction. You cannot do. Are you using ATM machines every day now? Once you, yeah, it automatically happens. You're using ATM machines every day now. Server will destroy the instance immediately. Okay? You're using ATM machines every day now. Answer me. Once you swipe your card on the ATM machine, how many transactions can you do? One only now? One only, guys. You cannot do multiple transactions. Why, sir? Why you cannot do multiple transactions? Because multiple transactions have a drawback. Multiple transactions have a drawback. Not like one drawback. There are drawbacks with multiple transactions. There are drawbacks with multiple transactions. If you just listen, when ATMs are introduced in India, guys, there is a multi-transaction option available. When ATMs are introduced in India, there is a multi-transaction option that is available. Yeah, we have multi-transaction option. Later, that was removed of, guys. Why? What is the problem? Why it was removed? Why it was removed means there are so many problems here with a multi-transaction option. Okay, so multi-transaction option. That multi-transaction option was removed of today, and because it has drawbacks. What are the drawbacks? What are the drawbacks means? Let's see here. The first drawback is sometimes this can happen. When multi-transaction option is there, how it used to work, you know? How it used to work is you will be inserting the card in the machine. You will be inserting the card in the machine, guys. And once you insert the card in the machine, what happens is the machine will completely take your card inside. One transaction will be done. After completing the transaction, the machine will ask you, do you want to do another transaction? Yes or no. If you say yes, again the menu will open and you can do one more transaction. After completing that, again it will ask you, do you want to do another transaction? If you say yes, again the menu will open to do another transaction. Like this, it will be opening you the menu for you for multiple times so that you can do multiple transactions, guys. Okay, it will be opening the menu for you for multiple times to do multi-transactions. Sometimes this is a serious issue with the people, guys. What, you went to an ATM machine. Okay, you went to an ATM machine now and you inserted the card. What I said to you, the card will be completely taken into the machine. The card is completely taken into the machine. And sometimes this used to happen. The machine used to stuck up and the card will not come out. The machines used to be having a stuck up and the cards will not come out here. This is one serious problem what they faced. Second problem is you went to an ATM machine, inserted the card, guys. You withdraw the money, and your brain is thinking something. Your brain is thinking something. You withdraw some money. You taken the money. After taking the money, you forgot about the card there, and you simply left off. After taking the money, you forgot about the card there, and you simply left the place. Are you guys clear? You